So in this video, we're going to be looking at the use of a very technical or semi-technical task or activity, which is to learn how to put data from multiple spreadsheets onto a new spreadsheet in preparation to import data into a database. So here's a spreadsheet we have in front of us. We have some tables here. Doesn't matter how big it is. And what we're going to do is go on a new spreadsheet, for example, press the equal sign, click on the spreadsheet where the data is stored, and I'm going to start from here where my column heading is, press enter. I'm going to copy this across. I can wrap the text if I want to, my last column, right across to the last column. So there are my headings in. I know that this spreadsheet goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 rows. So I can just come here, highlight this, and copy this down to row 16, for example. And there's all the data that I need coming out. So all the data that I need is now in one new spreadsheet that I have just created. And I can go back and I can format this data for currency style, this one for currency style. And for this exercise, bordering is not really important. Not really important at this point. I want the next section, so I go again, equal, go on my spreadsheet, go down to the next section. I want to start here, for example, and I know 209 goes down to 211. So 209, sorry, this 209 goes down to 211. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I can just copy this down 14 rows until I get to 211. And then I can copy this, go across, since all the corresponding data cells are the same. And I just do one more, equal, go on this spreadsheet, click on the next, where the next place of data importing. Well, not importing, I want to move this onto one spreadsheet, copy this down. And again, I will move this across. And what I always do, I always just format the data from here, just for allowing the database to import data in the correct format. Remember, bordering is not necessary. It's not necessary. All right, so here is what I have right now. So I'm going to save this spreadsheet. I'm going to save the spreadsheet. So this is my masquerader database. So that's the one I want to move. So having done that, I can now import this data. as is into database. The other way around it is that there's an instance where the data is already together. One of the ways you can move data into a spreadsheet, well, from a database into a spreadsheet, for example, is, for example, when the column headings are already in the first row. When the column headings are already in the first row, like is shown on the screen, when the data is already like this, then you can import this data straight across into a new spreadsheet. We're going to call this table the section rates table. So this table has the combined data we got from several spreadsheets, and this one has the section rates table where the headings appear in the first row. We don't need to do that. We could have simply highlight this area as a table that needs to be moved into the database. So all this data is already on one table. What we could have done is just highlight this table area, right click and select name a range, give it a name. So we're going to call this mass section rates table. No space must be in it. Click on OK. And we have saved it. So that is how you save an area on a spreadsheet to export it or import it into database. So I've opened Microsoft Access. I'm going to create a blank database. And I'm going to save this in a folder. We're going to call this, for example, masquerade as SBM. And we click on create. So the computer will create a blank database table. You can close this table. Now the aim right now is to import data from the spreadsheet into the database. And we're going to do that now. So to do that now, we're going to click on create. We're going to click on external data, click on external data. We're going to select Excel, because the file is an Excel file. We're going to go and browse, look for the folder where the file is stored, and here is the Excel file. Then click on next. Now we're starting off with the named table. So let's look at the name tables. We could look at show name ranges. Remember, we had named this area in the spreadsheet earlier as masquerade section rates table because the data was in one area. So we just name the table. So we select show name range and click on next. First row contains the column headings next. We're going to select next here again. Ask about a primary key, say no, next, and give it a name. Masquerader rates table. And the computer has just imported the masquerader rates table for you. Here it is. So please remember to open the columns wider. And in database, you have to go into the design screen and adjust the field size so that the names of the sections, here they are. We want to make the field size be about 20 characters. We can shorten it. Make sure the section ID is a number. This field name of section of text. Currency, so everything is okay. Save it. We're going to import a next table again. So go external, Excel, browse the spreadsheet, next. And this time we're going to bring in that spreadsheet that we created with multiple data tables being combined into one. We call mass database. So we're going to click on it. Next, next, next. No primary key. Next, mass database. So here's a mass database. Going home, view, ID, first name. So we can adjust this. Last name, we can adjust. The gender is supposed to be one character in size. The costume can adjust to say 5 or 10 characters. The payment mode has only one character. All right. So we have adjusted our database table structure. So remember, when you're moving across data into a database, you have to adjust the table structure properly, especially the text field and the numeric fields, yes, so that the data can be properly exported. Remember to open your columns wider to ensure that no data is cutting off. Which you are now doing. So having imported the spreadsheet file into the database software, again, make sure that all the columns are open fully. All data is being shown and it's not being truncated or cut off. So that is a table brought over. These errors tables can be deleted because you don't need them anymore. So you have these two databases. So you correct the structure for the text field. Make sure any numerical data is properly displayed. Open all the columns. Now, there are times whenever you bring across the data, you also need to separate the data in two different tables. So I'm going to, for example, create a copy of the masquerader table and call it masquerader personal structure and data. So in this table, I don't need the financial information because I'm going to put it into a different table. So right away, I can just go in and delete all the financial information from this table or whatever information I don't need in this table. I can take them out from here. And I have to do this process one by one. One by one to delete this information. And then let's say we want to add a field, for example, we put into the row and type in a field name, like for example, street address, text, 60 characters. We could type in town or city, text, 30 characters. If we want telephone, number, text, and so we added those information, and then you can go in the table and you can import these information. You can type in these information that you need in the spreadsheet. Not sure why the fields have, oh, these two columns need to come out. I can also delete columns from right here also by highlighting them and select delete. And you save. Likewise, So you can just go and type in the address, the town, telephone number as may be required. And likewise, again, if I copy this database and call it Masquerader Financial, I could open the Masquerader Financial table and wipe out all the fields that does not require financial information. So like right now, all of the other fields that are now remaining are in the Masquerader Financial table, and the ID number is used as a primary key. So remember, once your database have been finalized and they have been perfected, so we have the rates table, the Masquerader Personal table, Masquerader Financial table. You can open each table and go and assign primary key in the table. Open the personal table, and once there's no repeated field, you can assign repeated data. You can assign the primary key table. So once you have added the primary key in each table, you can then, and the data is good, you can then go under your database tools, do your relationships. You're going to add the table, the rates table, the personal table, the financial table, for example. And your next step is just to create your relationship between the three tables, and you should be good to finish up this SBA or to continue the SBA.